I just realized that I filmed a decent chunk of this and had never pressed record, so let's start again. Retellings are some of my favorite books to read. I always enjoy them. It's a great way to read a different take on a story that you already know and love. And while this list will most likely grow at some point, these are just my favorites that I have at this moment. The first one, just to kind of get it out of the way, if you've seen any of my videos, you know this one was going to be on this list, and that is Geekerella by Ashley Poston. I have a full review of this, which I will have linked down below. I will never stop recommending this book. This is about a girl who lives with her stepmother and stepsisters. Her father has recently died, but the one connection she has with him is her love of a show called Starfield. The show's actually getting a reboot, and she's not quite sure how she feels about the main actor and if he'll do it justice. Now, this is from multiple POV. The other point of view is from the actor Darian, who is actually a huge fan of Starfield and is really nervous and really hoping to do this right. They end up somehow texting each other and start a relationship, and this story is just adorable and fantastic and heartwarming, and it's just full of little notes towards fandoms. It's honestly one that will make you bust out laughing as well as cry. If you're looking for a really good Cinderella retelling that's really cute and fun, this is definitely one you need to check out. Next, I have A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This is my favorite series ever, so of course I was going to throw this in here. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it's definitely one that is kind of a lighter take on the retelling side and changes throughout the rest of the series. It is also a darker take on it and filled with fae, and it is amazing and I love it, and it's just... There's not really much to say about the series anymore. If you haven't heard about it, I'm really surprised. Definitely go check this out if you're looking for kind of a darker take on a retelling. Another favorite of mine is the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. This is the perfect thing for you if you need a retelling. This is fun and light and interesting, and each book in this series takes on a different fairy tale, from Cinderella to Red Riding Hood to Rapunzel to Snow White. It takes a different twist on all of these different fairy tales, and it is sci-fi filled. This is one of those series that I will recommend to pretty much anybody, no matter what books they tend to enjoy, because I just think it's that fun. Plus it has just absolutely amazing characters. Now, to bring up another Marissa Meyer book, I have to mention Heartless. This is kind of a retelling. It's more of a prequel to Alice in Wonderland and the story of the Red Queen. This is a standalone, so if you want something that's going to be quick and easy to get through, this is definitely one that you need to pick up. The writing in this is beautiful, and I really honestly think it has such a great twist between Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland and Marissa Meyer's take on it. It makes this world beautiful and bright and vibrant, and you can easily picture it in your head. It also makes you hungry. Be prepared for the food, because the main character Catherine bakes a lot and it will make you extremely hungry. While this one is a lot of fun, it definitely has a ton of heartbreak in it and was one that left me crying. Next, I'm going to kind of bring up just an author altogether for this one, and that is Alex Flynn. I only own A Kiss in Time, but I have actually read Beastly as well. Beastly is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and A Kiss in Time is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. These are the only two I've actually read from Alex Flynn. There are tons of other retellings, and I've loved these a ton. They're definitely more of a contemporary feel on retellings, but they do have magical elements in them as well. Next, I'm going to talk about Stitching Snow by R.C. Lewis. This is a Snow White retelling that is very similar to Cinder in my opinion. It definitely has that sci-fi aspect to it, and there's droids and space travel, and while it has that similar feel to it that Cinder does, it definitely is its own story and is really fun, and I really enjoyed this one. I do plan on picking up more of R.C. Lewis's writing because there are other retellings. Next, I want to bring up Hunted by Megan Spooner. This is Beauty and the Beast retelling and is also a standalone. This is a very kind of fairy tale feel to Beauty and the Beast. I really loved this, especially the Beast. I thought he was adorable and kind of dorky in a way, so I really enjoyed his character. You get to read some moments of his point of view a little bit, and I really enjoyed that, but this was just another one that's a really great Beauty and the Beast retelling. And to mention another Beauty and the Beast retelling, I have to bring up Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. This was definitely one of the first retellings I read outside of Beastly, and I loved this. Rosamund Hodge has written some other retellings, and I think they're good, but this was definitely my favorite out of all that she's written. It has such a unique take on Beauty and the Beast to where you don't really feel like it's Beauty and the Beast. It kind of feels like its own story. Our main character is forced to be betrothed to the evil ruler of her land. Everyone who's married this ruler never returns, but she decides she's going going to try her hardest to break this curse that's been put on her town. I don't want to say anything more because I don't want to spoil anything, but it is one of my absolute favorites. Next, I want to bring up the Ravenspire series by CJ Redwine. At the moment, we have the Shadow Queen and the Wish Granter, and there is a third book on the way. Each of these take place in the same world, but are completely different stories as well as different retellings. The first is Snow White, the second is Rumpelstiltskin, and I have loved them so far. While you don't have to read these in any kind of order, there are nods to other stories in the other books, so you'll see characters from Shadow Queen and the Wish Granter. These are honestly absolutely gorgeous and fantastic stories, and I will always mention the maps because the maps for all of these have been beautiful. If you're just wanting a nice cover by, I definitely recommend this series. The last retelling I want to talk about is The Flame and the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. This is definitely a more recent one that came out, and it is supposed to be a Mulan retelling. Our main character is on her way to meet her betrothed, but on her way she is attacked and very narrowly escapes. She decides to dress up as a boy and infiltrate this clan that attacked, try and figure out why she has this target on her back, as well as take down the person that is trying to kill her. You really want her to achieve and become who she's supposed to be and not let these gender stereotypes kind of rule her life, and it's a really empowering story and a lot of fun, and it's the first Mulan retelling I've ever read, and I'm really excited to continue on with the series. So those are some of my favorite retellings. If you have some favorites that weren't mentioned, let me know down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.